Colossians 2, verse 11 and 12. All right. You ready? Let's read this one. Colossians 2, verse 11 and 12. It says, in him you are also circumcised in the putting off of the sinful nature, not with a circumcision done by the hands of men, but with a circumcision done by Christ, having been buried with him in baptism and raised with him through your faith in the power of God who raised him from the dead. You see? Yeah, this is it. This is the scripture you were talking about, right? So when I get baptized, my sins get circumcised, and I'm raised through my faith in the power of God. So babies doesn't work because they don't have faith. You got it. That's exactly right. This has actually got started around the 3rd century, and it's crazy, man. It's around 349 or so. It was actually 3rd century. But what's crazy is that, sadly, people who are Catholic, they actually started infant baptism because of a lot of the poor health and the hygiene and stuff that was going on. What do you mean? Well, put it like this, right? During the Dark Ages, right? A lot of people were dying, babies were dying, and people were like, they didn't understand, they didn't have the Bible, so they were going to the Catholic Church like, hey, what's happening? My baby's dying. What's going on? And they basically said, okay, you know what? They knew, Catholics know, well, many of them, that baptism is for the forgiveness of sins. They actually believe that. But it didn't make sense that they would baptize because they knew you got to have faith before you get baptized. So in order to justify infant baptism, they actually started a new doctrine. So they actually introduced a doctrine to justify infant baptism, which is what? Original sin. Isn't that crazy? So they make this like false doctrine of original sin to justify why they now have infant baptism. So if you come into the world with quote unquote sins from Adam, now you have to get baptized. Do you see it? It's like totally twisted how they justify themselves. It's crazy, right? But of course, the Bible talks about that too. Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 20, right? The son shall not share the guilt of the father, nor shall the father share the guilt of the son, the righteous of the righteous. Well, I could quote it to you, but let's take a look at the scriptures. Take a look at the scriptures here. It's always good. It's always good, but it's good to have scriptures on your heart too. You're going to start quoting scriptures like this too, develop. I don't know if I can do that, Dr. Drew. I mean, that's a lot of scriptures. Do you have the whole Bible in your head? No, I don't have the whole Bible in my head. You're funny.